all time, I put Brady above Peyton Manning because the postseason records. Do you think it gnaws at Peyton a little that in crisis he hasn't quite been Tom?
Oh, without question. I mean, I think Peyton Manning is the greatest regular season player, not just quarterback, but player in NFL history. But I think that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in NFL history because you have to take into account January and the first Sunday in February. It can't help but eat away at Peyton. I mean, his accomplishments in the regular season are just incredible, but Colin, 9 one-and-dones in the playoffs, more than any quarterback in NFL history.
When you talk to him, does he get defensive? I mean, how does he address it? Did you address that it is sort of like the A-Rod situation? Yes. It's hanging over him.
Well, I can tell you this. After they get blasted by Seattle 43-8 in the Super Bowl, that was here in New York a couple of years ago, Peyton is on the podium in the press conference room at MetLife, and I'm kind of standing off to the side and behind him a little bit. But I know him well enough now. I'm not going to say he recognizes my voice, but I think he knew the question that I'm about to tell you was coming from somebody that he knew. And so I just, he played a horrible game, and, the first snap went over his head and had a pick six, and it was just terrible. And I just said, hey, Peyton, are you embarrassed by what happened out there today? And the veins were bulging out of his neck, and his face was getting red, and he turned around and he goes, that's a bad word to use. And it's like, God, the daggers he was shooting through me were amazing. And I was just thinking, I've already interviewed Brady for my book. I haven't interviewed Manning. I think I just blew the interview with Manning. But he did talk to me. I went out to Denver a couple of months after that. But he was, and the funny thing about it, Colin, is that before I asked Peyton that question, 2 or 3 of the Broncos were saying how embarrassed they were that they laid an egg in the Super Bowl. So I was basically just repeating what other teammates have said about how they played to Peyton, and he went nuts.